Hamid says, can we call innocent people who have been killed by the terror attack or stabbed or bombed as martyrs? Example, people who were shot dead today in the mosque, and that is referring to Christ Church in New Zealand. So first of all, this was a tragedy. This was a heinous crime. And this was the result of hate speech that white supremacists and the politicians of so many Kafir countries have been repeatedly stereotyping and brainwashing their people through the media by accusing Islam of being a terrorist religion. This is the result. Helpless people, defenseless people, unarmed people who go like clockwork every single week on the same time to the masjid to offer their Friday prayers. A guy goes in, opens fire discriminately, killing children, women, men, whoever is standing in his face. And the justification, it is written on his magazines, his machine gun magazines. It's written all over the place, in his Facebook, in his declarations. It's something to do with hatred of a Christian towards Islam. But as Muslims, our hands are tied. We cannot play their game and accuse Christianity. Why? Because Allah tells us in 2 places in the Quran, in chapter 5, to be fair and not let our hatred or grudges against people to transgress. We cannot. It is easy for me to put hate speech now and start saying that this is a new crusade, this is Christianity, all Catholic Protestants are this and that. But this is not true. They're not all like this. And I'm not defending them. I am stating what my religion tells me to state. The closest to the Muslims are those who say we are Christians, as Allah Azza wa Jal mentions in the Quran. And the worst and most people with enmity and hatred against the Muslims are the idol worshippers, whether they're Hindus or Sikh or Buddhist, and the Jews. As stated in the Quran, they hate us. So we cannot brush them all or paint them all with the same brush and say, one individual did this heinous crime, all Christians are alike. No, this is unfair. This is haram. But they do the same to us, Sheikh. When a Muslim comes and says, Allahu Akbar, and he blows himself up or he kills innocent people, they immediately accuse the Muslims. They accuse their Sharia, they accuse their religion, their Quran, they talk ill about our Prophet ﷺ. Well, sorry, but 2 wrongs don't make a right. When they make wrong statements against us, this does not give us the justification to make the same against them. This is the greatest difference, that we are Muslims. We always come on top. Sheikh, this is racist. No, this is not racist. This is reality. Our religion is the best religion. You like it, you hate it, tough bananas. This is up to you. We are proud of our religion because anyone who's objective, who's fair, would say, Akhi, this is the time for you to retaliate and to condemn the Western world and the Christian world and the Crusades and this and that. No, it's not. We're Muslims. We have to be fair. Even if we're fair against our parents, as Allah mentions in the Quran, you must be fair. Even if against your parents, you have to be fair. So at the end of the day, it's a heinous crime. But when we look at facts, why did these people go to the masjid in the first place? Ask an individual before going to a Friday prayer. Why are you going to a Friday prayer? He would say, because Allah ordered me to do so. Then he would say, because this is my pathway to paradise. This is the way I reach paradise, by going to the masjid, offering my prayers. And I die doing this, I end up in Jannah. So this is what they wanted. This was their objective. And this killer made them reach their objective a bit quicker. So for them, we're not sad. We are happy because, alhamdulillah, we consider them to be winners through their martyrdom. And this answers your question, Hamid. Can we call them as martyrs? And the answer, it's an issue of dispute. As for the hereafter, there is no dispute, inshallah. They are martyrs. Whoever is assassinated, whoever is killed unjustly, through bombing, through assassination, being stabbed from the back, like in the masjid, being killed without being able to defend themselves, they are martyrs, inshallah, in the hereafter. But in this dunya, we treat them like everyone else. What do you mean, Sheikh? We mean that they are washed, shrouded, prayed upon, and buried. While the people who die as martyrs, they do not have this. They are buried with their own clothes and their own blood, etc. What is the evidence, Sheikh? The evidence is that in the authentic hadith, the Prophet ﷺ was once with Abu Bakr, Umar, and Uthman. And they were walking over Mount Uhud. And Mount Uhud started to tremble. So the Prophet ﷺ struck the mountain with his foot, saying, "Stay still, Uhud, because on top of you there is a prophet, a Siddiq, and a Shaheed or two, a martyr or two." So the Prophet was Muhammad ﷺ, our Prophet. The Siddiq was Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, and the martyrs were Umar and Uthman. And we know that Umar and Uthman were assassinated. They did not die on the battlefield, which clearly indicates that people who are assassinated or who are killed and being transgressed upon, they are considered to be martyrs, and we hope and wish for them, inshallah, to be real martyrs. But having said that, now the issue is these 50 people who had died on a Friday. It's a beautiful death. For a Muslim to die on a Friday, he would be exempted from torment of the grave. And it's a sign of a good ending. We all hope for this death on a Friday. It's a good death, inshallah. But it is not the end of the world. How many on daily basis die in Syria, in Libya, in Afghanistan, in Iraq, in Burma, among the Rohingyas, being raped, being killed, being tortured, being kicked out, nowhere, starved to death. How many Muslims among the Uyghurs in China are being detained unlawfully, put in concentration camps by the hundreds of thousands, and some say 1 million prisoners, just because they say La ilaha illallah and they believe in Allah. So 50 is a big number, and we are saddened for what had happened, yet we are happy that inshallah they're martyrs. But this should not make us neglect the plight that our brothers worldwide are suffering just because they are Muslims. And this makes us an obligation, this makes an obligation upon us to utilize this incident and show the people that Islam is not a religion of terror. 1.7 billion. If our religion dictated that we terrorize people and to kill them and to do heinous acts, wallahi, no human being would be living on earth now. Because we're devoted Muslims, we're committed Muslims. If our religion tells us to kill you, we will kill you. But it doesn't. If our religion allows us to lie, we will lie and say that Christianity is the cause, the root cause of all of this. But Islam doesn't. So this is why we have to abide by our religion, stick to it, and walk the talk, and Allah's religion would prevail without any doubt.